You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself.
Sojibona mpunga utakula kwa mbili kuto likubwera lochu kisisa kwa mbili kuna kuchikanga ndi chizolowezi zikola pasili makhala choncho nimeza khalire yathokoza kwa mbili ndikuona mvula yononga ya mphepo yosakhala bwino maikwa umene mvula sigwa ndikuona kupangidwa mavuto apa dera opsa kwambiri ndikuona dzanja la Yehova litalowa mnyanja zosiyana dzanja la Yehova litalowa mnyanja koma muli madzi oneka ngati agodi kuchoka mwamba ndi kutsika lowa mazi ndi mazi ndikuyamba kuwira kutakasidwa kupanga ngati chimpira chachikulu ndikuyamba kuyenda mphepo yonongesesa kwambiri imene khale kuno ndinafotokoza za mphepo zimene zaononga kale ku America ndikuti mbale izi zikubweranso ndi zinaso zikola pansi ndikupemphe usamire kwa Mungu chifukwa cha mkwiyo umene wakula mphepo imene yononga maiko osiyana mvula imene yononga maiko osiyana pakhala mvula koma ya mphepo ichuluka koma maiko China, USA, India, Japan, Indonesia, South Africa, Mozambique ndi maiko ochuluka mawe wako yemwe tiyembekezere katundu kuonongeka ochuluka ndikuona zambiri zikuonongeka katundu magalimoti nyumba zikuonongeka makampani akuonongeka ndikuona mphepo imeneyi ikuyamba ngati kuno kuchinama kuyenda ukafika pa thondo yazima sikuoneka kumene ili koma katundu aonongeka opya kwambiri sone yapita kuti zimene ndikuona pasogolo watu ndinenese kuti mavuto wa ndi Mulungu wakwiya ndizikola pansi akuti munthu watayika sakumvera akuti tikwenera kumsaka tikwenera kumfunafuna chifukwa cha mavuto ndiye Mungu anduza kuti zimene ndafotokozazi ndisanafotokoze china chilichonse zimene anawapasa amalira azifotokozere amalira.
Amen. Mena mafotokoza prophet mu ineyo zinandichitisa mantha chifukwa cha nkhani kumene nanenso ndinachokera nayo. Amen. Linali pa 31 October ndili kunyumba mama kuti ndizibwera kunoko ndapezeka kunena kuti ndinadzaona ma floods kapena kuti madzi osefukira akulowa mu mpanda wa nyumba nde koma pamene amalowerapo ndi mmene kunali sikuti pali pafupi ndi mtsinje kapena nyanja ayi nde kenakona zada Mulungu achimalizitsa chimene fana ngondonesa paipo nkuchisiya nde nada Mulungu yekha achimalizitsa ndinadzafika kunoko ndinabwera kutsogolo kukapembedzera ndafika kutsogolo kanduza kuti ndinakuza chani mesa kunali moto panopa ndi kubwera madzi kubwera ma floods nde manja angawa ndinawatambasula chonchi Nde napezeka kuti m'manja mwangamo mathira madzi matuluka madzi onse ndikutanthauza saizi ya tapu, ndikutanthauza kuti matuluka nyanja m'manja mwangamo. Nde nyanja ita izimatuluka m'manja mwanga ndimathiranso mu nyanja ina. Ndanandiuza kunena kuti madzi amene ukuthira mu nyanjawo ndamatapangise madziwo kuti asefukire. Mu nyanja zimenezizi ndananditchulira Indian Ocean, ananditchulira Atlantic Ocean. Ndanandiuza kunena kuti utenge manja ako uwatakase madzi aja. Anandiuza ndatakase kuti madzi aja aluse sopano. Ndathiramo madzi ambiri ndiyambe nokuwatakasa nde ndikusogolo kuja ndayamba kutakasa mu nyanja zija. Ndayamba kutakasa ndanandiuza kuti dziko lapansi kubwera floods, kubwera madzi osefukira. Ndananditchulira Japan, ananditchulira China, ananditchulira America, ananditchulira Mozambique, ananditchulira South Africa. Nde ananditchulira madera amenewo ndikuzandiuza kuti ndi madera onse amene ali mbali mwa nyanja amene wawa ziyakhudzaso ziyachitikira. Ndanandiuza kunena kuti ndinakuuza chani kuti ndipanga ndi mafumu aku Africa. Ndenanena kuti munanena kuti muwawononga, akuti yes taona banja lina lililonse la president wina aliyese waku Africa ndayikamo ngelo wa imfa. Mu nyumba mwa president wina aliyese waku Africa ndayikamo ngelo wa imfa. Ngelo ameneyo chimene wabwera ndikuzapha, apha munthu aphaso zinthu, akozopha munthu akuzophaso zinthu, koma abwera kuzapha ngelo ameneyoyo. Nde kenakono ndinapezeka kuti m'manja mwanga munali pachizungu timati daga kamakhala ngati mtanda choncho, ngati lupanga koma lalifupi. Nde ndinayiponya, inapezeka kuti yagwera pakatikati pa Africa. Nde ndinayiponya chonchicha ndinazaona madzi amachoka pansi pa Africa, kunsi kwa Africa. Ndinene kuti Southern Africa yonse madzi aja anachoka pansi ndikumakwera mwamba, ndikuzalekezera adisa. Ndinene kuti South Africa yonse ndanazandiuza kuti Mozambique ipanganso mafloods, ikupitanso madzi. Ndanazandionetsa masoja, anandiuza kuti asilikali awawa ndi ako ndakupatsa iwe ali pansi pa ulamuliro wako. Asilikali amene wawa ndabweresa ku dziko lapansi, asilikali amene wawa abweresa nkhondo, chisokonezo choopsa. Koma sikuti akha asilikali anthu si anthu, ndachoka kumwamba amene ndangowatsitsa kuti azagwire ntchito imeneyo. Abweresa akhala ngati maiko ena amene amatcha kuti ma rebels, akhala ngati asilikali ngati amenewo. Ndanandiuza kunena kuti Africa, Nigeria, Sierra Leone kumene kuku amene wawa abweresa mpungwepungwe wa zipembedzo, kukirana zipembedzo zokhazokha m'maiko mmene momo. Ndanandiuza kunena kuti ukudziwa inetu ndiwononga olo nditawononga dziko lonseli lapansi palibe vuto, ndikhozotenga ilo ndikubweretsa. Anandionesanso dziko lina lomwe atha kungolibweretsa ndikuzalikhazikitsa. Pamene nditasiyire ndisiya onsewa akabwera kuzagwada pansi pa Prophet Emmanuel, akabwera kuzagwada ineyo zonsezi ndizisiya, ndisira pamene popo, kupanda kumene koko china chilichonse ndiwononga. Nde zimenezo zinali tsiku limene lolo ndidabwera kunoko dzulo. Ndikubwera kunoko ndili pamusi apo ntasava ngono kufika pa getipo, ndinadabwa kuti mkono wanga wakumanjaku ndikuona nyanja zikuluzikulu ziwiri. Nde nyanja zija ndinazigwira ni mkono wangawo ndikuzikoka ngati ndazigwira ndikuyenda nazo. Ndeka nditaona zimenezo nangoti pakana ndinganyamule nyanja ndikungoganiza. Nde koma mkono wangawo mmene mazafika kulowa pa gate ndimadziwa kuti china chake chachitika ndi mkono wangawo. Nde nditafika kusogoloko ndinakhala pakona pa ima prophet ipo, nde ndinafunsidwa kuti m'manja mwako wanyamula chani. Nde inenso ndimafuna ndiyankhule ineni, ndimafuna Mulungu ekhandiuze chimene chili chani chili m'manja mwanga. Nde ndinayankha kunena sindinayankhe, ndinangokhala chete. Ndinakuuza chani mesa ndinakuuza kuti kukhala mafloods. Nde ndikuti munafotokoza akuti nyanja imene wanyamula, nyanja zimene wanyamulazo wazichotsa mu madzi, wazichotsa ku madziko, wazibweresa ku dziko, wazibweresa ku kunthaka chimati kuntunda wazibweresa kuntunda pamene utazisiye nyanja zimenezonso ine ndamene nditakuuze kuti pano nyanja zija utha kutani utha kuzisiya funa ndikufuna kuwononga ndikufuna ndiwononge china chilichonse nthawi yake ndinoyo. Ndi anandifunsa kuti munthu mayiko amene ali ku desert ali ndi nyanja ndiye ndikuti ayi ku desert kulibe nyanja akuti utsowa chimene tagwiritsa ntchito kuwononga ku desert ndiye ndikuti ayi anandiuza kuti taona ndiye ndinapeza kuti ineyo ndayima ngati imene ndayimira muno koma manja angawa ndapanga chonchi uku nagwira kavuluvulu wa mphepo ya mchenga mbali inayinso nagwira kavuluvulu wa mphepo ya mchenga. Ndi anandiuza kunena kuti mchenga umene uwu doti limene lili fumbi limene lili liwononga mayiko onse amene alibe nyanja madesert onse uwathira fumbi limene lili ndi amene onse awonongeka chitachitike ni mchenga umene kavuluvulu wa mchenga umene uwu. Ndi anandiuza kuti palibe amene akwanise kuyimika dzanja langalo. Ndi ananena kuti dzanja langalo ananena kuti dzanja lakolo lakumanjalo ndi dzanja langa kunena dzanja lake ilili ndi dzanja langa limene lolo ndipo ndipanga nalo chimene ine ndikufuna ndiwononga kudzera mu dzanja lakolo. Palibe wina aliyense amene adakwanitse kulimika dzanja limenelo. ukamamva kunena kuti dzanja lamanja la Mulungu ndiye ndi limene lolo ndimene kwise nditowononga. Dziko lapansi liwonongedwa apafera yankhula ndaziona dzanja langa lomwe ndilimene nditachiteso.
Amen. Ndimafuna ndifotokoze chifukwa chimene Mungu anawalola kuti amalika afotokozere zimene. Alena uyu sitikumumvesesa mpaka na lero ndikufotokozera simukumudziwa. Sitikumumvesa Alena. Ni chifukwa chake ambiri mumaona muli mulengalenga mutagona, mitambo mutagona, kumwezi mutagona, kuzuwa mutagona. Mumatha kulowa panthaka wantunthu osatiso zochita kuti kulotaso osatiso kugona. Ndi chifukwa chake ulamuliro umene waperekera pamalo pano singotengera munthu amene ataende ndi Mulungu mokupanda ndi imene Mulungu akufunira. Aona zimene zikula pansi sinaone, aziwa zimene zikula pansi sinazo. Zinsinsi za Yehova zili pamalo apo. Mphepo kuinena iyi, mphepo kuinena iyi. Sikungoti sinimafuna kufotokoza pa dziko lapansi silimuziwa. Zimene akukuza zimene amafotokoza apapazi ndi zimene zili pale. Zimene zizi kuchita control mphepo, kuchita control zuwa, kuchita control mvula, kuchita control chilichonse chimene mungafotokoze inuyo, chilichonse chimene mungafotokoze. Kuyambira 2015 zinyama mukunena zimabwera ineyo kwa ineyo kumafusa tini mavuto awa mutithandize izi. Tindi vuto ili muthandize chilichonse chimene munganene ulamuliro umene unaperekedwa malo. Mulungu okhala kumwamba amalikonda dziko lapansi kwambiri. Koma dziko lapansi silimamba. Ine simafuna kufotokoza zambiri anthu azaona ngati kuti ndikuzichekanira. Ineyo si Mulungu sizakhala Mulungu. Koma ulamuliro umene wayika malo so amasewera ndikukuwuzani mavuto akubwera ndi amene wawa. Ndipo sasana ndiyerekezi ndi Mulungu amene atapanga zonsezi. Ndi Mulungu amene atapanga zimenezi. Anachitanso ndi ana Isaac. Amachitanso ndi aliyense amene akumfuna. Apaso achita ichi. Anthu sakupemphera Mulungu. Tikungozinamiza. Kumene mvula sigwa. Ndikuona kupangidwa mavuto hapa ndilale opya kwa miji.
And you find that every time you are trying to control in one region, there is another swarm that is happening in a different region, and it is not possible to control them simultaneously because most of the time they are at different stages. So it requires a lot of personnel and capacity to be able to undertake all the control operation and also managing the surveillance in terms of the ground team. When you want to load an aeroplane early in the morning, there is also the restrictions of timing and also locating the swarms because of the curfew. However, we are trying to come up with innovative ways like reducing the number of populations that are being met at once for the training, as well as also engaging the security officers so that they can allow a small extension of time for the locals, the scouts, as well as the operation team.
The small-scale farmers, it's a very big problem, and for the food security of Kenya, especially after a problem like the coronavirus, how are we going to feed Kenya? All of our produce is for local consumption, and yeah, I think everyone needs to take this seriously and support everywhere you can, because it's a very big problem for Kenya as a whole.
Now, India and Pakistan are facing their worst plague of locusts in decades. Authorities in both countries fear a food security crisis. And even as Pakistan struggles with the economic fallout of the coronavirus lockdown, its agricultural sector says the insect infestation poses a greater challenge.
These tiny insects are far from fussy eaters. Feasting in swarms of millions, they're now threatening to out-eat Pakistan's population at a critical time. The locust threat is several times more dangerous than the coronavirus. I would say it is 100 times, 1,000 times more dangerous than corona. When you were fighting against coronavirus, you had crops, grains, vegetables, things to eat. No one went to bed hungry. While Pakistan's economy is reeling from the ongoing coronavirus lockdown, the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization estimates its agricultural losses from locusts could surpass $5 billion this year. Authorities have set up a national response team to assist 61 districts of the country that are under threat. The first and second weeks of June are going to be critical for us, because the locusts that are now in Iran and in Muscat will start heading towards Pakistan. To combat that, we have stationed helicopters in various desert regions that fall along the way. In the meantime, desperate farmers waiting for help have had to take matters into their own hands, trying to drive the locusts away with noise. In neighbouring India, it may sound like a party, but there's nothing to celebrate as the country struggles with the same problem. Devastated crops, a further threat to the region, which is also struggling with economic costs of lockdown. Here, teams are scrambling to stop the swarms before breeding can take place during the monsoon season, which begins in July.
Chifukwa cha mkwiyo umene wakula mphepo imene yonunga mayiko osiyana-siyana mvula imene yonunga mayiko osiyana-siyana pakhala mvula kumaya mphepo ichuluka.
This morning, parts of central Michigan are being pushed to the limit. Catastrophic flooding in the middle of an ongoing public health crisis. One river cresting at more than 35 feet, the highest it's been in more than 3 decades.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Days of heavy rain turned into a surge of rushing water. No match for 2 dams that ultimately failed Tuesday night. Downriver, homes and cars completely submerged. Roads and bridges turned into rubble. Dow Chemical activating emergency plans at its sprawling plant on the banks of the Chinamwali River in Midland. Governor Gretchen Whitmer declaring a state of emergency, ordering 10,000 residents in Midland to evacuate, despite the state's ongoing coronavirus stay-at-home measures.
It's hard to believe that we're in the midst of
100-year crisis, a global pandemic, and that we're also dealing with a flooding event that looks to be the worst in 500 years.
The flooding may have passed its peak, but the danger isn't over.
We're looking probably at 4 to 5 days at least before the water recedes.
There it goes. There it goes.
The Edenville Dam in Midland County, Michigan, collapsed on May 19th after several days of steady rainfall that caused overwhelming flooding. The rushing water destroyed roads and bridges and wiped homes off their foundations as it traveled down the Tittabawassee River toward downtown Midland.
It's amazing what the power of Mother Nature can do.
In Sanford, another dam was overtopped.
It's a whole town destroyed by this. Not just one or two. All of my fellow business owners in this town, plus family residents all through here, have been wiped out.
Pat Perry lost her Sanford home of 31 years.
So they moved everything upstairs thinking everything was going to be safe, and I don't think they expected the whole house to go. So I know their roof is over in that corner back there, and then apparently the rest of their house is that way.
The heavy rain has affected some 2.6 million people in 11 provincial level regions and destroyed over 1,300 homes. About 230,000 people have been forced to relocate. Economic losses are estimated at more than 4 billion yuan, that's over $500 million US. Gao Ang has the story.
Damage, destruction, and despair. Torrential rain swept across southern China, unleashing the heaviest floods in years.
This is the largest flood in 20 years for our county. Garbage is everywhere on the street.
The extreme weather has left at least 9 dead and 5 missing, affecting over 2.6 million people across several provinces. But rescue is on the way. Step by step, one after another. In Guangdong province, a police officer instructs his teammates to take special care of an elderly man. In Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, many rushed to the scene of the disaster, rescuing people and building a wall to protect a local water source from being polluted. And in the city of Guilin, authorities dispatched dozens of officers and boats to relocate trapped people. Electricity cut off, they searched from door to door to make sure no one is left out.
We have been trapped for many days. I am thankful for the police officers to help us relocate.
Now, more than 4,000 families have been displaced by raging floods in Tana River County after the river Tana burst its banks, sweeping through the farms and houses. Now, the humanitarian situation in the area remains dire as they live in displacement camps, fearing for the outbreak of diseases. The threat of the coronavirus notwithstanding, the camps make it almost impossible for them to maintain social distancing.
As the rains continue to pound different parts of the country, residents of flood-prone areas such as Tana River have been suffering. It is no longer a road trip to Kipini West area of Tana River. Access is only by boat. Government agencies and aid organizations reaching out to more than 7,000 residents who have been rendered homeless, looking for any dry patch to set up camp. This village is completely submerged, and even the elevated area residents have been forced to put up in is a glaring danger by itself. Children, women and the elderly forced to stay here. Supplies are running out fast. Hunger is knocking. Those in Hola and Mudengeni areas of Tana River have been settled in Garissa County after their homes and farms faced a similar fate. They are setting up camp here for the second time.
The initial settlement was Bakuyu. They moved to a place called Madengeni, and this is now their second move, where the water has catch up with them. So every time that the level of water goes up, they were being moved.
Humanitarian agencies calling on the government to move with speed to alleviate the already dire humanitarian situation. Just 3 months ago, residents of Garissa and Tana River counties were displaced by raging floods in the area. Now displaced yet again, and the rains going on, the immediate future looks bleak, as it will be long before they are back home. Hassan Mugambi, Citizen TV.
The rains that pounded different parts of the country on the night of Wednesday, May 6th, claimed the lives of at least 65 people and destroyed a number of properties in 6 districts across the country. Nyabihu, Gachenye, Muhanga, Musanze, Ruhango and Rubavu districts are the most hit. The heavy rains caused a number of rivers to flood, sweeping away a number of houses and bridges in some parts of the northern, western and southern Rwanda. Heavy rains fell through the night from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning. Some small streams that feed into River Sebeya flooded, sweeping everything within the proximity of the river. This is not the first time River Sebeya has flooded. The last time it happened, authorities decided to expand the river banks. But this is way too much compared to the previous floods. People are stranded across the river. They cannot cross to access the market. People need to know weather patterns ahead of time to move away from high-risk zones before it is too late and evacuate their property. According to the officials from the northern and western provinces, residents who were killed by the torrential rains will be laid to rest on Friday at their respective residential areas. Meanwhile, heavy rains in Kigali City caused flash floods in Nyabugogo and making Nzove-Skol-Rutonde Road impassable. The Ministry of Emergency Management assured that the government will assist families of the victims. The ministry also urged citizens to be cautious in this rainy season to leave high-risk zones. Reporting for RTV News, Izan Tashobia.
Just a few weeks ago, this market was bustling with life and sitting on dry land. It's in Uganda's capital, Kampala, on the shore of Lake Victoria. The lake's level has been rising and the market traders' livelihoods are underwater. Tumwesigye Mbabazi owns 3 kiosks and was supporting her entire extended family.
I'm no longer working. My business are full of water. I have nowhere to put my business.
This man's trying to dig out his shop, which is little more than a metal cage, so he can take it elsewhere. The market chairman tried to help by building this walkway.
The water level started increasing back in December. We built the walkway to access the shops, but it kept on increasing, and now you see the shops are underwater.
Around the lakeshore in neighbouring Kenya, the rising water has washed back up rivers, causing flash floods. This woman and baby were lucky to survive, but dozens of people have died. It's unusually heavy rains since the end of last year that have caused the lake level to rise. It's here, the source of the River Nile in Uganda, where some of the water flows out. The rising waters have broken chunks of swampland off the lake shores, creating floating islands that have jammed the dams that generate most of East Africa's electricity. The lake level was relatively stable until the 1960s. Since then, it's been prone to dramatic rises. This one is the greatest on record. More than 20 million people depend on the lake's fish. They need to live close to it. Tens of thousands are waiting for the water to recede so they can go home, and then waiting for when their homes are flooded again. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
In parts of Jackson, Mississippi, there is water everywhere.
You feel helpless and you want to throw in the towel.
With the worst flooding in decades affecting thousands across central Mississippi, this morning they're bracing for more rain, with another 2 inches expected over the next few days. Across parts of Jackson, the swollen Pearl River relentless, overtaking homes, shutting down streets, and flowing through bridges.
We got a lot of people hurting.
Governor Tate Reeves says the state will feel the impact of this for years.
The fact is, whether it's 6 inches or 6 feet, it doesn't really matter. When you have this kind of water in your homes, it can really disrupt your lives.
It's something Patrick Cruz knows firsthand.
This whole bottom level is out, and this is, one of many homes. Just the sheer force of, millions of gallons of water. I mean, there's nothing you can do. If it wants in, it's coming in.
A few streets away, for this young family,
I'm about to load them up on my back, walk them in, go back and get my wife and 8-week-old. Don't let go.
There's only one way to get to their home. Across parts of the South, 10 million people are under flood warnings across 15 states, including Tennessee, where wide stretches of Hardin County are submerged. Back in Jackson, this anxious father knows it's only a matter of time before the water creeps in. But the one silver lining? An outpouring of love.
It's really been overwhelming. I'm really just kind of thinking about it. I get kind of broken up over it because it's such a good feeling to have so many friends and family that are helping out.
It was a desperate attempt to stop this couple being swept away. Strangers leapt into a street in central Aden, fighting to pull them free of the current. It is rainy season in Yemen, but with neglected infrastructure, the water makes its own path through the city, turning roads into rivers. Many were caught out and had to be saved from their vehicles. These boys trying to cheer up a woman they rescued by singing to her. Compounding the trauma is that this also happened a month ago. Then the UN had to bulldoze thousands of tons of rubble and mud off the streets. Almost 5,000 families were displaced. The water also harbours an invisible danger. Yemen is battling a cholera outbreak, a disease spread through water. Some 400 kilometres north, in the capital Sana'a, residents are salvaging what they can from floods a week ago. Heavy winds and rain killed 7 people, injured dozens, and damaged 16 refugee camps in the neighbouring governorate of Marib.
The heavy rain destroyed everything. We weren't expecting it, and it came from the mountains and swept everything away without warning. The rain took our clothes, buses, everything in its path.
And yet, there is a potentially more ominous disaster on the horizon. Yemen has had just 1 case of coronavirus. The UN has warned it will be catastrophic if it catches hold here. Only half of Yemen's medical facilities are functional, the population is acutely malnourished, and about 80% or 24 million people need aid to survive.
Storm Kira made landfall in various Western European countries on Sunday. It brought with it heavy rain and hurricane-level winds expected to reach up to 145 kilometres per hour. In the UK, many trains, flights and ferries have been cancelled. Weather warnings have been issued across Britain, as well as the other affected countries. In France, 35 regions are on orange alert. People have been asked to avoid wooded areas, the shore and sea trips, advice that not everyone has heeded. Northern France is expected to bear the brunt of the worst weather. Belgium has also issued an orange alert for the entire country. In Brussels, public forests and parks have been closed until Monday, and several football matches have been postponed. At least 60 flights have been cancelled in and out of Brussels airport due to the dangers of the heavy winds. Unlike the other countries, the Netherlands have decided to go ahead with at least one event, the Dutch Headwinds Cycling Championships. 300 cyclists on basic bikes with no gears or featherweight frames battled against the gale-force winds to complete an 8.5-kilometre course. The idea is a simple one, to reproduce the conditions of an alpine stage in a country that is largely flat.
moto panopande kubwera madzi kubwera ma floods.
We actually have 723 firefighters still in the field of operations. They're dealing with 38 fires, 19 uncontained. But the rainfall has obviously providing some welcome relief to many of the bushfires that have been raging. There have been 13 flood rescues, which unfortunately has doubled since yesterday. There were only 6 this time yesterday. There's been 13 now. Now, that says to me that the community is just not taking seriously some of the warnings that have been issued, and I would appeal to the community to be very conscious of the fact that drains, rivers, and any number of pieces of infrastructure will be challenged over the course of this flood activity, and of course that's been made even worse by the king tides.
In Turkey, where at least 22 people are now dead and more than 900 injured after an earthquake in the east of the country. The quake struck near the town of Sivrica, that's about 550 kilometers east of the capital, Ankara. It was followed by dozens of aftershocks, some of them almost as strong as the initial quake. Rescue teams are now searching for survivors trapped in collapsed buildings.
The sun rose to reveal a picture of devastation. Exhausted rescue crews working their way through the rubble, searching for survivors, still pulling people from collapsed buildings. Rescuers have been battling the unfolding disaster all night. The tremors began at 9 in the evening. Terrified residents recorded the impact as the ground shook beneath their feet. Relief efforts have been hampered by aftershocks almost as powerful as the initial quake. In freezing temperatures, families became homeless overnight.
Our houses are either collapsed or damaged. We cannot go back to our village. Some people have died. I hope God will help us and give us patience. Our animals died. We have to spend the night here by the fire.
Collapsed buildings are not the only danger. The quake also sparked a fire on the roof of this house. Authorities are warning residents not to return to damaged buildings because of the risk of further aftershocks. It will likely be days before the full extent of the damage is known. But thousands of people already know that they have no home to return to.
Mga usok madami. Tumakbo na kami papunta dito, paakyat. Sikip nga sa daanan. Pati yung mga bata diabagsakan ng mga bato.
Nduza kunena kuti ukudziwa inetu ndiwononga olo nditaononga dziko lonseli lapansi palibe vuto ndikhozotenga ilo ndikubweretsa anandionesenso dziko lina lomwe atha kungolibweretsa ndikuzalikhazikitsa pamene nditasiyire ndisiya onsewa akabwera kuzagwada pansi pa Prophet Emmanuel akabwera kuzagwada ineyo zonsezi ndizisiya ndisira pamene popo
ndinenese kuti mavuto wa ndi Mulungu wakwiya ndizikula pansi.
You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself.